talking about what appear to be planned changes to bus services, specifically in the north of the island, but listeners tell us that this is happening in other places as well. Louise Whitelegg is leading a campaign against a cut to the Jurby service, and we're joined on the line now by Billy, who's a commissioner up in Ramsey. Hello, Billy.
Hi there.
Yes, what's your thought on this?
Good afternoon, Louise.
Good afternoon, Billy.
I agree entirely with what Louise is saying, but I would like to hear from the DOI, and in particular the manager in charge of the minibus operations. Here in Ramsey, they've come up with all sorts of ideas and then they've had to scrap them. But I'm quite happy to listen to the residents of the north if they've got any problems or they need any way of getting through to MHKs, etc.
Yes.
I will be asking our local MHKs what they are saying or doing about this situation. It's no good if somebody wants to pop up to Bride to see their friend in the afternoon, but they've got to book it 24 hours in advance. Anything could happen within that 24 hours.
All right. I mean, will Ramsey Town Commissioners be taking a position on this?
I don't know. I've only just picked up on it myself.
Got you.
And I'm hoping that some of my colleagues will. But as I say, we need to get Doc Allinson and Laurie Hooper and Tim Baker, those up in the north, to say to the DOI, what are you doing?
Yes.
And we need the manager in charge of the minibus operations to come and explain it all.
All right, well, that would be a start, I suppose. Thank you very much for calling, Billy. So there you go. That's a bit more support.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just thinking on my toes.
Yes.
I wondered if Billy would fancy a date tomorrow. And if he's out and about, I would say it would be a good idea to meet up at the Jurby shop, and anyone who's listening in Jurby.
All right.
Let's just put our money where our mouth is. Let's say 2:00 at the shop in Jurby tomorrow, and we'll get a bit of discussion going there.
It sounds like a revolt, this.
Oh,
This sounds
it
like
does,
pitchforks.
doesn't it? It's because I went to see Les Mis. Wasn't that marvellous? Did you see that? 24601? Fantastic.
You're going to be manning the barricades
I
at
know,
Jurby
I
at
know.
this rate.
Just an idea, though. I'll be up at Jurby shop at 2:00.
2:00 tomorrow. So 2:00 tomorrow. If you feel aggrieved about this potential change to the bus services, go to the shop at Jurby 2:00 tomorrow. Louise and hopefully Billy and other people.
Yeah.
I mean, you can invite Alf Cannon. He's the MHK for the area, can't you?
Well, the invite's open to anybody who's listening.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about this and get something done.
Some final text on this, and then we're going to have to leave it. It's is it not about time the bus routes and numbers were changed and the buses resprayed a different colour? I don't know. I don't know that people are that bothered. How many extra ambulances would the health service need to buy because people can't get themselves to A&E? Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Isn't the guardhouse cafe closed down? Don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm sure it'll be back for TT.
I think so. I think it's probably just shut for the winter. Who owns the top-of-the-range Merc that Mr Longworth drives about in and renewed as quick as the buses? Don't know. How many ex-police officers are driving the minibuses? Don't know. We had the same issue in Foxdale and the Braid with no service after 6 on a weekday and none whatever on Sunday. Can they not, say, limit the frequency of the Peel route, which goes straight through, then maybe go via Foxdale once in a while now and then and still end up in Peel? Cheers. Government works not allowed to speak or they get the sack for gross misconduct. Well, this government's taking us down the route of Germany in the 30s. Examples, changing who can object to a planning application. Oh, we're talking about that later on. Why don't they put so much on rates all island and make the bus routes free? That'll cut all the costs of ticket machines and staff time and so on.
It's interesting argument that, because
I think it's a good idea.
Other countries are actually doing that with a view to the environment as well.
Yeah.
Looking at providing completely free transport and making it more available so we can cut down on those car journeys.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. It just simplifies the whole job, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I'm sure that if they want to encourage more people to use public transport and leave the cars at home, that would be a great way to do it.
Definitely.
Isn't Tim Baker on the DOI, says as if. Oh, he might be conflicted, as might the Treasury Minister, I
Quite
suppose.
possibly. Ray Harmer is in charge of the department, and crikey, the department minister escapes me.
Which one? Which department now?
The person in charge of transport. It's Ray Harmer and
Not Ian Longworth, no.
Oh, no, the minister. I'm dreadfully sorry to the MHK. The names escape me.
Well, transport, that's Ray Harmer, isn't it?
Yes, it's Ray
DOI.
Harmer, and then he's got a member who's solely responsible
Oh,
for
I
that
see,
as
for
well. I
transport.
can't remember the member's name. Sorry,
Right,
Mr.
okay.
Member.
We must use our buses, even more routes will disappear. Meet you at the Jurby Hotel. There you go. That's good. Excellent. Louise, thank you so much for coming in. It's obviously something that people are getting a bit annoyed about. So 2:00 tomorrow at the shop at Jurby,
Yeah,
if you want to have your say.
Put pen to paper and let's get some change.
Louise
Thanks to you.
Whitelegg, thank you so much.